Alright guys, so I ended up seeing both Moist Critical's video and Oompahville's critical video, right? Anyways, I ended up seeing Moist Critical's first, and I was thinking to myself, like, the way he kind of paints Oompahville in that video, it seems like he's genuinely upset, right? Kind of paints Oompahville as like this individual who kind of just seems like he's out of touch and doesn't really understand. When you go to Oompahville's video and you watch that video, you get the sense of like Oompahville made the mistake. Now I love to be funny. I try to be funny, and I fail most of the times, even though I'm still just like whatever. Anyways, I was gonna make a joke, but obviously it was gonna fail. I stopped myself while I was ahead. Anyways, so when I saw Oompahville's video, it really seemed like he's genuinely sorry about like what happened, what transpired, and if he could take it back, obviously it kind of gave the sense that he would take it back. But I kind of just wanted to talk about this like whole thing about like stealing content. All right, the fact that like we're talking about Moist Critical here, an individual who ends up producing like 3 to 2 pieces of content every single day, and to have that much content out there, there has to be at some point there's going to be parallel thinking with some other YouTubers. Being a big YouTuber like that, we're going to have so many eyes. And so like when you're going to produce a piece of content, I'm pretty sure at some point you're going to end up creating a thumbnail that looks just like some other smaller YouTubers thumbnail, and you guys are going to say that he stole it from this individual, like which could be possible for any big YouTuber, but under the circumstances that we have, such as Moist Critical, an individual who just produces so much content, and I've never gotten a shred of plagiarism from him. Why would people immediately think that his intention was to like steal content? I never get that intent. I never get that sense from Moist Critical. It's insane to me that people will immediately jump to that conclusion that he stole. Give me 1 second. There you go. It blows my mind that some people will think that he stole an idea from a YouTuber. Like, dude, I have you really ever gotten that sense that he would steal content? Like, honestly, I've never seen a scandal where where there's compilations of him taking other people's pieces and content and just making it seem like it was his original idea. I've never seen that. Let's just say this, okay? If we had an individual like Carlos Mencia, right? Everybody knows who Carlos Mencia is. If you don't, he's practically a comedian who was literally run off stage because he would steal he would steal jokes from famous comedians from back in the 80s, 90s. An individual like that, if he ends up like going up on stage and he ends up saying a joke, immediately people are gonna think that he probably stole that joke, right? Well, that's because he has that pattern of behavior and it's consistent with the records. When people think like that, it's almost as if like, yeah, it's okay to think like that. History has shown that he will most likely do that again. With Moist Critical, I don't get that at all. And I've been watching Moist Critical for like 2 or 3 years now, and I've never gotten the sense that he has ever like taken a piece of content, nor is there any evidence of it. And there's no compilations out there, which I'm pretty sure this is YouTube we're talking about. There has to be some compilation out there. Like, dude, like it's gonna be online. If there's no compilation on Charlie taking content, like what makes you think that it's okay for you to think like this, which is totally fine for sure. But to think that he will take this piece of content is just, there has to be more evidence before we can draw a conclusion and say, I saw him wearing a mask, I saw him with a big bag behind him, and he was just making a run for it like in the middle of the night. Like, dude, like, no, man. No, we have to draw conclusions when it's appropriate. And this is just one instance where when I heard about this, I was just like, seriously, we're really gonna draw that conclusion already? So essentially what I'm trying to say is, bro, just, I'm not saying, I'm talking to the people who immediately accused him and just drew that conclusion of him being a thief. I'm not saying you're dumb. As a matter of fact, I don't think you're dumb at all. I think that critical thinking, not critical moist, critical thinking is a skill, and you have to practice that skill. And that skill is absolutely appointment. That skill is absolutely important if you really want to make critical judgments and you want to make progressive judgments. Because if not, then you're gonna like end up like, because like Oompahville, like he wanted to make a joke out of this, and now it's like he made a joke of it, obviously, but like it ended up like costing him his idol. Like, can you imagine now, like if he tries to meet him, it's gonna be awkward, and the fans kind of ruined that for him. And And that's unfortunate, you know, but and he apologized in the video as well. Okay, I highly recommend you guys go watch it. Make sure you guys hear both sides of the story. It's important. Before I made this video, I ended up checking the context to make sure that it's appropriate, because I don't want to just jump in and make a video and not have any clue as to what I'm talking about. So guys, just give it a chance, man, and go out there and just search for the content. Make sure that it's appropriate. That's a part of critical thinking. Make sure that you guys calculate every variable. Some variables could look like, you know, is it consistent with Charlie's record of being a plagiarizer? Or is Oompahville, do I know Oompahville? Does he joke around like this? Those are some of the variables that people need to think about. So, yeah, just sharpen your critical thinking skills, man. It'll serve you well in the long run, you know? So, that's pretty much it, man.